All right, everybody, we are back again. Another episode of Big Back Adventures. And this time, I don't have a chef. I have another comic because we're back to the norm. And I have an amazing comic. One of my mentors who I look up to in comedy and who my mom thinks is more hilarious than me.
I love that.
But that's fine, Mom. But yeah.
That's funny. Thanks, Nathan's mom.
Yeah. Also, he runs an amazing podcast called the Quarter Mile Podcast, and he has a brand called the Quarter Mile brand, right?
It's called the Quarter Mile Entertainment. I was laughing
Quarter Mile
that the dog
Entertainment,
barked right when you said that. I don't know if no one else will hear the dog bark, but it was perfectly timed.
But yeah, so what's up, Drew?
What's up? Thank you so much for having me, Nathan.
Yeah.
And for all the listeners, Nathan was just on our last Quarter Mile podcast episode. We reviewed F9, the Fast Saga, if you like Fast and Furious. And Nathan was one of the special guests. So I don't know when this one comes out. I know we're putting our episode out next Wednesday.
Yeah. Actually, this episode will come out next Tuesday.
Okay,
Actually,
so tomorrow,
Yeah.
tomorrow, and then look at Nathan's social medias when he is because and it was so much fun having you on that episode.
Yeah.
I mean, you are. He was saying earlier in the show how long he's been podcasting and how many podcasts he does, and it was so evident. You were like so comfortable. You were such an
Appreciate that,
easy,
man.
great guest. So loved having you there.
Thanks.
So.
Yeah. And this podcast has been a long time coming because we recorded a podcast years ago.
Yes.
And it got foobarred by my old computer. And it never came out,
we'll see if
so.
this episode actually comes out. I'm going to be looking on Tuesday. If there's no podcast, I'm unfriending you on Facebook. I'm going to post. Maybe even today I'll post a status that says, "Hey, just so everyone knows, I was on one of Nathan's podcast episodes, and we don't see it on Tuesday. He hates me."
No. I love you, dude.
So the name of this podcast, the Big Back Podcast.
Yeah, Big Back Adventures. Yeah.
Okay.
So this whole podcast is just we talk comedy, talk about food, because those are two of my big loves in life.
Those are the best. Those are like maybe the two best things out there: comedy and food.
Yes. And like the funny thing is that like most of the time I'll subject the episodes or whatever, like, oh, like it's the cookout or it's Italian episode or whatever. This episode I just want to talk about food on the road.
Okay.
You being a road comic, right?
Yeah.
Talk about food on the road. Both of us probably eat a lot of food on the road.
Yep.
Right. So
do you have a go-to? Do you have a like a favorite fast food that you're like at one point on your comedy trip, like whether it's there or back, you're like, this is because I know the one I have, but like, do you have a favorite?
You know what? To be honest with you, I think that the one for me, it's really I guess depends on a part of the states or whatever I'm at. You know what I mean? But like if I'm out west, then I have to go to In-N-Out.
Yeah,
I have to.
Absolutely. I enjoyed In-N-Out. I felt like it was overhyped when I went there. I really did. I was like, but then I learned there's a secret menu, and that's what you got to know to get good. Which I didn't. I think the concept of a secret menu is the dumbest thing.
Right. To be honest. So any restaurant that's bullshit. I just want to say that. Okay, secret menu. You were just trying to add to my obesity, and I don't appreciate that. So
I would like you to help add to my obesity and put it on the regular menu.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You could even name it something like food for the fatties. And I get it. Like, I don't need that 6 burger, 16 bacon, 10 cheese. But I like to know it's an option. And because I would totally get it.
See, right. Because, see, like, when speaking on In-N-Out, but, like, me personally, I think I love burgers. But like, it's hard to go somewhere and get a burger. I compare every burger to Tops.
Okay.
Right. So, because like to me, Tops and Dairy Queen or Dixie Queen got the best burgers. Right. So
I really I agree. Tops is a great burger. I literally yesterday or a couple days ago almost went to a Dixie Queen, but I didn't. But next time I have that option, I'll go check out the burgers there because I don't think I've had a burger at Dixie Queen.
It's two things that you can count on Dixie Queen to have at any point in time. And as comics, we up late as hell through the night. So it's like you can always count on them to have a fire burger. You can always count on them to have some fire wings.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So it's like...
And those are like my two favorite food groups. Right?
Yeah. The only problem with a Dixie Queen is that if you go to a Dixie Queen after 10 o'clock, you are about to be waiting. You're going to watch a whole episode of something on your phone in the car. And then you're gonna get the food. But
hey, man, that could be a great way to end the evening, though. But just know it going into it.
Right. To be honest.
Yeah.
What's okay? So what's the favorite fast
So
food place that you pick?
if we're talking driving, when I'm on the road and actually driving, I feel like at one point Arby's is a safe bet for me. And here's weird.
Arby's.
Yeah, here's a weird thing too, because this is gonna. Okay, everyone listening who doesn't know me, I get that my food choices are total trash. I know it. I live into it. It's who I am. But I can't prove this, but maybe I should start researching it. But like gas station Arby's, man, are better than regular Arby's. I'll lay that claim.
You know what? I really can't argue with you on that one because I like Arby's, right? Yeah. I don't eat it very often, but when I do eat it, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pull up to an Arby's, and I'm always going to an Arby's on the road at a gas station, like a Love's gas station.
Yeah, because usually you're gassing up and you're like, it's lunchtime or dinner time.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's not like I'm not gonna like sit down and if I have time to enjoy a meal, I'm not gonna go to Arby's, right?
Yeah.
This is like you're on the road and it's part of your path. Yeah. Like, usually on the way to a show, on the way home, you don't care. You take it forever. Right. Now if I'm enjoying, first of all, I have to say, I just have to be honest and transparent about the two places that I have an unhealthy love for. Yeah. Buffalo Wild Wings, like anytime I'm like, where do I want to eat, and it pops up, I'm like, well, that's where I'm gonna go. Like I've had so many, and it's all because like of when I was a youth pastor, that was a place where we used to have like really good small group discussions, and like, or my friends would like go and I've had so much good community in Buffalo Wild Wings. It is completely shaded, but also like their menu is all my favorite food. Like, literally, Buffalo Wild Wings could have just been renamed to Drew's favorite foods.
Yeah.
DFF. Buffalo Wild Wings is better. Better name for it. Now, if, and people who, if you hear this and you're like, what's he like as a stand-up comedian? You're going to hear me, I have lots of jokes about this, but if it's like I'm at a hotel and I just want to like spend, like hang out and like just veg and chill and whatever, or maybe I got some work I'm doing on the computer, Little Caesars pizza, hot and ready. Yeah.
This man's the king of the Little Caesars.
And
Little Caesars sponsor this man.
I'm trying to get him to sponsor me. I occasionally tag him in my stuff. Like, no one's reached out to me yet, but I could. There used to be one like right next to where I lived, and that was especially like, during COVID. That was where our relationship really grew. But my favorite thing at Little Caesars, and it does involve a secret menu, and I hate that secret menus exist, but I totally exploit the system. Pepperoni pizza, which you're like, that's normal. But you have to ask for a heart attack topping on it, which is when they take the topping that they put on their crazy bread, like the garlic and Parmesan, and they put it all over the pizza.
Oh, the butter stuff?
Oh, yeah. You can get all. It is such a. I've changed so many lives by telling people about this. So here's the thing. There's two options. You can, three. I guess you can get a regular pizza, whatever. Right. Or you can ask them for the crazy topping where they just put that butter stuff on the crust, which is like, okay. Yeah. Like, it's good.
But who is just really killing?
But then when you get the heart attack, when you get they put it all over the pizza, and they put way more on it. And I will warn anyone who gets this. So first of all, you're gonna enjoy it, but it's so weird when you order it and it's just like you, because they give you like they do like a mental health check. They're like, so you want it over the entire pizza? Yes, and it's just you eating it. Yes. I feel like the next question would be like, are you okay? And so I would say in my tiers of food, and then I do have another tier, which is like when usually it's like the end of a comedy weekend or a comedy week or whatever. I'm driving home, don't have to rush. So when I'm feeling classy, and I know people are like, that's not classy, but I'm an Outback guy. Give me an Outback steak, Caesar salad.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what is funny is that I was gonna do a steak episode, right? Mm-hmm. And I was gonna talk about Outback because I feel like Outback is one of those like steak restaurants, right? Yeah. That has like stuck around for so long. You know what I mean? Because you got tons of steak restaurants, like Lone Star, or you had
Texas Roadhouse,
like Texas Roadhouse, which that one's kind of held the testament of time. Mm-hmm. But like a lot of the steakhouses from my childhood or whatever are all closed, right? Yeah. Probably because of disgusting peanut shell habits, but whatever.
Are we talking Logan's? Yeah, absolutely. Are they closed? I haven't seen a Logan's in a while.
All the ones in Memphis are closed.
Yeah, the peanut shell stuff was gross to me. Yeah. I am a little bit of a neat freak in weird ways, not in like I feel like not in ways that make you weird, but like,
Yeah.
but I couldn't get behind the oh, I'm surrounded by like this. They're just saving money by not having a janitor. That's why they. That's why
Right.
they.
I see. I was okay with it until I went to a Logan's after when it was raining outside and came in and slipped almost. 'Cause it's like it's
yeah.
like this is basically peanut oil on the floor
Right,
now. You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
It becomes
So,
a
like,
hazard.
yeah.
You gotta really want to eat at Logan's to show up there on like
Right.
a rainy day. Like that is taking
Right.
a lot of extra risk for that. Okay, steak. So.
I mean, well, at the time, I don't think. Well, yeah, Outback was around, but like at the time, like Outback was like mad expensive.
Yeah.
So it was like it was either Logan's, Lone Star, or I forget what the other place was called. It's not Texas Roadhouse, but it was a place that was similar to Texas Roadhouse. But because they had the like the meat in the front, and you could like pick your own steak and all that kind of stuff. But
I can't remember the name of it. Although in Memphis, if we're talking good steak, top of the line, Texas de Brazil. Have you ever been there before?
Oh yeah, Texas de Brazil is like a fat kid carnivore's dream.
I think it's just heaven. Like I think somehow when you walk through the doors, you're walking through the pearly gates and you transmit.
Right.
But if you ever don't waste your time or money on the salad.
Don't do that.
That is a fake. Like
I feel like you'll get sick after eating a salad bar. To be honest,
it's a good salad bar, but you're wasting good steak room.
Yeah, 100. And it's like what's cool is that they got steak, lamb, chicken, all the other kind of
so
stuff.
Good bacon wrap steak.
Right.
I'm telling you, like
I'm hungry now.
If you get to pick your own heaven,
Yeah.
just God just put me in Texas de Brazil. Like I feel like that would save him a lot of money on heaven. Like,
with a side of Little Caesar.
Right, absolutely. Little Caesars when I'm having a bad day. Because I feel like there's certain foods, and to me Taco Bell is perfect. I never go to Taco Bell when I'm having a good day.
Okay.
Taco Bell to me is, first of all, I don't go at normal hours. It's a late night food.
Yeah.
But it's also when it's like I think to myself, what else could possibly go wrong in this day? Like when I'm that low, I will go to Taco Bell and I will, and it's really the Baja Blast is my favorite. And I know now we can like order, like we can buy that at Walmart and stuff. But back in the day, you could only get Baja Blast at Taco Bell. In fact, to this day, I really don't buy Baja Blast in cans because me and Mike, that's Taco Bell's drink. I don't want to take that away from. They don't have a lot going for them. I don't want to take that away from them too. You know?
The funny thing is that you know now that you can get. It might be like a secret menu item, but you can ask them. They have Baja Blast ice cream and
Taco Bell I haven't tried. I've heard about that.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it. That's gonna be. Listen, not only am I gonna have to have a bad day to get into Taco Bell, but I'm gonna have to be pretty close to suicidal. Where I'm like I'm not brave enough to put a bullet in my head, but I will eat Baja Blast ice cream.
Here's the thing, though. If you do it, you got to get a Baja Blast and the ice cream, and then put the ice cream.
Oh,
in
like
the
a Baja
Blast.
float, Baja Blast float, man.
Yeah.
That actually, that would either be the best dessert or like toxic waste that gives you a superpower. Like that,
you turn into the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, like
you got a mop and
that is. What an origin story. I went to Taco Bell. I was one step away from taking my own life, so I decided to order Baja Blast ice cream and put it in my Baja Blast drink, which made out Baja Blast flows, and now I am the Baja Blast.
so okay. So you were saying that. So what is like if you had to put like a 1, 2, 3, right? So you're like, this is best day ever. I'm going to eat this on best day ever. I'm going to eat this because it's like a midday. And worst day ever, this food, right? So first I'll go fast food. Right?
Fast food, yeah. So comfort food wise with fast food, if I'm just like already feeling pretty tough but want to like solve it with good food, the brackets for the bad day, and Taco Bell doesn't even make it to this because it's not as good as the other two, but Little Caesars. That can fix any problem in the world.
That's on the bad. That's on a bad day list.
Yeah,
okay.
And you know what? Honestly, sometimes even on a good day, because if you're looking to comfort eat, it's on a bad day.
Yeah.
But if you're looking to like Little Caesars and chill, throw on some Netflix afterwards, watch like that's a good night. That's a good like Friday chill too.
Yeah.
But also another good. Although I will say they have dropped in quality since. For years, my comfort food, like after a bad day of work, was Cookout. Do they have cookouts
Oh,
here?
yeah.
But I feel like after the pandemic or during the pandemic, they really dropped in. And I don't know. Someone told me this recently. I don't know if it's that they've dropped in quality or if my standards have become a normal amount. But last time I went to Cookout, I was like, this isn't what I remember. This is. But like that's what I love about Cookout is you can literally get a main dish and then order 2 sides that are other main dishes. You can get a double bacon cheeseburger with a side of a chicken quesadilla with a side of chicken tenders. And then like a big drink, and they're like, that's just a tray. Like, Yeah, and I will argue, because people that know me know I'm not the biggest fan of Chick-fil-A. I just feel like it's a lot of holier than thou kind of stuff with their, and like people always talk about them being the big Christian restaurant. But Cookout has Bible verses on their cups. And they started as a restaurant that wanted cheap food for college students. So they're like helping the poor, so to speak. And they still give you trays with like tons of. I just feel like if we're talking about real Christian fast food.
I mean, speaking. Now that you say that, speaking on that, to be honest, you know what is wild is that like is that me. I'm like, I'll eat fast food, but like I get so irritated with fast food, right? Like for instance, like
what's that?
The reason being is this: I haven't eaten at McDonald's in like 10+ years, right?
They've tried to give McDonald's like better clothing, but it's still McDonald's. Like they make it look nicer, but you're like you still are like
still MCD, gross, right? And then it's like Burger King, Hardee's, a couple places like that. I haven't eaten in them in years, and the reason I don't eat there is 1, the food is gross, but 2, I will fight a person in there. Okay, you know what I'm saying? It's like I came in here for some quick food. Why is it taking 10 years to get some damn fries? You know what I mean? And then it's like Wendy's. I'll eat at Wendy's only because I feel like Wendy's is the one place that got real burger meat. You know what I'm saying?
The Baconator, man. Yeah, that is a life changing burger.
But Wendy's will piss you off because you'll get in the line and they'll stop you and they'll be like, "Hang on a second, let me scrape the ground with this pan thing, so before you pull up." You know what I'm saying? That shit pisses me off. But like any kind of like a fast food place that's considered like a, I guess like Christian type of restaurant. I like it, right? Because you don't wait in line forever. It's like, cause like somewhere like Cookout, you were like, this is probably gonna take a lifetime, right? But it's like the line is always hella long. Just like Chick-fil-A, the line is stupid long, and then you're like, oh, okay, cool, we can get out of here. I just got my food.
Yeah, God bless them with super speed. They're in and out. I like that.
That's how you know that all these other restaurants are heathens. Yeah, that's how you know that, because it take too long.
And listen, I try to not be like that, like old man sounding dude, but like they try to make you like they try to do all the like self checkout with fast food places now.
Oh yeah, I hate that.
And then they haven't it stinks. Like they never get your order on time or correct. And also I don't do drive-throughs. I like to sit and enjoy my meal, but the margin for error increases exponentially when you order at a drive-through. So I will go in and I will order to go. Yeah, just like when we're on the road, it's like it would make so much sense to just drive through. But no, I don't trust banks drive-throughs. Yeah. I go in and because I like to know my bankers. Like if I ever have a money question, I want them to be like, oh yeah, Drew's a nice guy. Like I want them. I want that relationship.
See, we on the same page. We are on the same page. It's something like I will go through a drive-through if I'm in a rush, but like me, I would rather go inside or whatever, right, and look at the people and be like, hey, I just want y'all to know I can see y'all back there making my food. Don't fuck it up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
I want them to interact with me like, what a nice guy. I won't spit in his food. Like that's what I hope for.
Yeah.
And here's something I also this is the only time I think I do, because I do try to be, you know, I don't know if you've ever worked like retail or anything like that, but like once you work retail, you want to be so nice to everyone who's in customer service, everyone who works in a restaurant, because you know that they have to deal with so many stupid, mean people. So like I worked at Publix for so many years at a grocery store. I was a cashier, and it was like after that I was like, I want to be the nicest, low maintenance customer ever. Even when I get the wrong order, my personal rules, if it's edible, I'll be like, yeah, this is mine, I'll take it. Which is probably a toxic people pleasing trait of mine. But here's where I draw the line. When you're at a drive-thru and they're busy and and for whatever reason, I've had to get it to this drive-through, so I'm actually using it. And then you make the order, and they tell you to pull over there and wait for your
Oh
food.
yeah,
They never will get you.
God.
You will never get your food. They will forget about you. They don't care. It's like a con. So what I do is like, no, I'll wait. I literally just sit, and then it makes them have to get my food quicker. I will not pull over. I am so anti-confrontational. Well, you tell me to go pull over at a drive-through lane, I'm nope.
Yeah. You know something else? It's funny you say that because like a thing that pisses me off to no end is when you order food, especially like if you're at a chicken place or something, and you order food. And then they go, oh, yeah, it's going to be probably 3 minutes. We're making new chicken. Why didn't you tell me that?
Yeah.
Why didn't you say that before? I would have definitely been like, well, no, I don't want that chicken.
Let me change my order.
Yeah, let me get something else. I don't want to wait 3 minutes. This is a fast food line. You know what I mean? So, like,
I remember one time.
Real American problems.
I remember I went to a Taco Bell one time, and I ordered some, like, soft tacos, and they were like, oh, we don't sell those here. I was like,
oh, yeah.
I was like, first of all, you do.
Right.
Secondly, it's literally on your logo.
Right.
It's like, and I have many times when I go out to eat where I feel like such a fatty because like it's so Little Caesars, for example, I was telling you about the heart attack secret menu item. I have been a Little Caesars patron so long that now I have outlived the careers of most of the people that used to know. So like, there's been many times where I have to explain to them like what a heart attack is, and like I don't think I was like, I know you do it. It's on, like, type in heart attack, you will find it. Like, you will see it, and they're like, oh, who knew that? I'm like, well, fat people like me know that. We know it. Like, and there's been so many times where, like, or if you go to like, so when I lived in Covington, which is a pretty small town, and our best and only mid-range restaurant was an Applebee's. So if you really wanted to class it up at Covington, you would go to an Applebee's because your other options were like Taco Bell or McDonald's, right? So I would go to Covington, and my go-to order was, at Applebee's was I'd get their chicken tenders, but I'd have them tossed in buffalo sauce with ranch on the side. And like, most people were cool with that, but at some point all those people quit or died or got better lives. I mean, it's stuff with Applebee's employees. You never really know what. Some of them go to prison. Like, it's stuff happens, you know. And then you'd get the new batch of waiters, and you'd be like, "Oh yeah, can I get my chicken tenders tossed in buffalo sauce and with ranch?" And they'd look at me like, "Oh, we don't do that here." And I was like, "Oh, you do that here."
Yeah, right.
I've been here longer than you've been alive. Like, you do that here, son. And
right.
So, like,
the one place that I go to that I always will get the secret menu item, but it's not even a secret menu item. It's just they just stopped having it for decades now since I was like a kid.
Yeah.
But like, I will go to Chili's and I will say, "Hey, I want the fajita nachos." And they'll be like, "We don't have them." Like, just
you're like, trust me.
tell the boss. He knows.
Go back there and tell the
yeah.
Like,
then they look out the bag and they're like, "Oh, it's Nate."
Like, oh, we know. Yeah. His pictures is on the wall.
but it's like that's my one like favorite go-to secret menu item or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Starbucks actually has like a breakfast sandwich. But it's like bacon. It's supposed to be like bacon, eggs, and something else. But if you can get like basically like bacon, sausage, and eggs or whatever.
Ooh, yeah.
And they have it. They do got people who are listening. Starbucks has real eggs. Stop letting them tell you to give you them fucking box eggs. They are not real. Ask for real eggs. It's gonna take longer, but it's good.
But it's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
someone told me once and I think this is like ingenious. If you want the best, warmest fries from McDonald's, you actually order unsalted fries, which they don't keep a stock of, and then you just put the salt on yourself, and it's like, and that's gonna be the best fries you've ever had.
It is.
So
I don't know. I don't eat McDonald's, but it would be.
Again, McDonald's is like, how low is my self-esteem?
Yeah. I mean, I do that when I go to Wendy's.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I need fresh fries, whatever, no salt on the fries. So this is a funny thing to do when you go next time you get like chicken wings or something like that, right? Or chicken tenders. Mm-hmm. This is a funny thing to always mess with them to do. I always be because you said toss in buffalo sauce. Yeah. I always tell them, can I get my tenders tossed in ranch with a side of buffalo sauce? And they'll be like, what? You're like, and also, if you do that, it's actually not that good. But
yeah, I was like, that sounds
too much
absolutely
ranch.
Disgusting. Yeah. But I would love to see the facial reaction. Yeah. I would like, because you got. And here's the thing: I think if you work in fast food or any kind of food service, it should be part of their training where like the boss says, listen, there's a lot of freaks out there in this world.
Oh yeah.
And you're just gonna get some weird food orders, and you have to have a stoic, serious face, regardless of what they had. One time I was, I used to have friends come over every Monday night. We play Super Smash Brothers. We eat dinner. It was a good bro time, And so like it was my turn to get the food for them. We're classy people, so we went to Subway.
Yeah.
And one of my friends told me the wrong sauce to put on his sandwich. It was like, I think he wanted Chipotle, but he asked for the sriracha sauce, which is like way hotter. Yeah. And so I'm asking for like all these peppers and all this stuff, and then I asked for the sriracha sauce on it. And this lady gives me the the worst, like I was asking her to melt a baby and throw it on give me some baby butter right there. Like she was like, I'm sorry, you want a what? And like, turns out she was right, because that was it was a disgusting sandwich and it ruined it for him. But like, all I'm saying is like, if that's what he wanted on purpose, like, hey man, look, we live in a country where, it's America, land of the free. I can order whatever I want on my sandwich.
Right. See, I didn't realize how weird people eat until I worked at a pizza shop.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So I worked at this Italian pizza shop, and it was like pretty much like authentic type of pizza, but it's like you get any topping you wanted to, right? And so it was almost like they had infinite toppings. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much stuff to choose from. But this one dude would come in, and he got sausage and onions every time, right? Or he would only just get like the 2 onions. So he was like, let me get white onion or yellow onions and red onions, right? And like, for the longest, I was like, that's fucking weird. You know what I'm saying?
You're like, who is this guy? Is he a serial killer that just likes pizza? Like, that is...
Yeah, when you think about it, you're like, who just eats onions and cheese? Like, who does that? You know what I mean? But then, I remember it was like one time, I ended up getting the pizza, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it just because I want to see, right?
Yeah.
And like, because another customer would get, he would get onions and pineapple, and I'm like, this is...
Yeah.
You're a crazy person, right? But
I can kind of see how that one works. 'Cause it's like sweet, and then like whatever the heck tastes onions. I don't like onions, but I can see how those are conflicting tastes that might work for people.
I mean, now the onions and pineapple did not work for me at all. I was like, nah, I'm straight on that. Now the double onion, it was kind of cool because you get the super sweetness from like a purple onion, or red onions, but then you get that like mildness or whatever, almost like earthy but sweet taste from like the
earthy taste from the regular onions,
from the yellow onion.
Sounds like you're casting a spell. Wiccans, they love those double onion pizzas.
Right? Yeah. Matter. Then you know what? That might be a thing, because my ex-wife was a crazy person, and she was like, I'm a Wiccan, and she would eat weird pizza and stuff like that all the time. So yeah,
I mean, maybe
possibly.
No, maybe it's that if you're someone who's more into the I don't know the earthy religions, the natural religions, the super I don't know
solstice religions.
Any of your Wiccan audiences are annoyed that I'm not using the proper terminology right now, and I apologize, but like, maybe it's just you're more open to the abstract. So then you're like, onions and pizza, or onions on pineapple and pizza. Yeah, that makes sense. And also, let's throw in the hair of a newborn. To see if we can
got some of that baby butter.
You're right, absolutely. Cast us up.
That's funny as hell.
So maybe, I don't know.
So I got 2 more questions I do want to ask before we end the episode. First question that I'm going to ask is, I always get each guest to give me their like dream meal, right?
Okay.
So it can be any food, anything whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, you got to build your appetizer or starter, and then your entree, right? And then whatever your dessert is, and then I know you don't drink, but whatever your like drink of choice would be, right?
Okay. The drink of choice, because I don't drink, usually is like, that's where it gets tougher, because like everything I say will sound great, and then at the end of the drink I'm like, I don't know, but I'll still do it. But I'm letting the audience know when you hear this, you're gonna be like, wow, that sounds really good, until I'm like, and then like a soda or something. I don't know. But okay, so for my first course, so appetizer, basic, but I mean, I absolutely love it, Caesar salad. And
Okay.
not so. I mean,
You're the first one with a salad.
Go heavy on the. I mean, there's other things you could get, but like I feel like I feel like my meal is gonna complement it all well. But like, and when I say Caesar salad, go heavy on all the things. And I want soft croutons, those big old soft croutons.
Yeah.
I want lots of like cheese or Parmesan or whatever the cheese they use on it. Like drown it in the Caesar dressing. And lettuce a little bit if you have to. Like it's like like that's the kind of Caesar. That's my Caesar salad.
He said everything but the light on the lettuce.
Yeah. And then then my main course, I'm super Italian, so like that comes in into like, 'cause you're like, he sounds like a real weirdo, but so. I'm gonna have veal piccata, so it's like veal in the lemon butter sauce with the capers and stuff like that. That's like the main dish. I'm also gonna have pasta with vodka sauce, which is really good.
Okay.
And usually they put in some like prosciutto, which makes it like pretty good. And then like kind of on the, I guess this is, I don't know if I would eat all of this in one sitting, but since it's my dream meal, I'm also gonna assume I have a dream like no calories and also dream.
I mean, because you can have two sides. You can have two sides.
My other side is gonna be a tomato and basil salad.
Okay.
There's like a caprese salad is what they call it or something like that, but like it's essentially tomatoes in like an oil and vinegar sauce with mozzarella cheese. It's really good. So dessert wise, so I'm not a huge dessert person in a sense, but I do kind of like all the things.
Yeah.
So like, I could go with like just like a really good piece of chocolate cake and some like vanilla ice cream on it, and like that would be good. Maybe put a little Hershey's drizzle on it, to like something like that.
Like a almost like a hot fudge sundae.
I'm cool with a hot fudge sundae. I mean, my policy with desserts is like keep them simple, and as soon as someone adds nuts to any desserts, I want to murder them. Like,
what do you mean?
I hate with the passion, with so much. The thing I hate most in life is this, and that is fruit-related desserts.
Fruit. Oh, so like
no
like
apple pie,
like a tart or something.
No, and so when you're at your friend's house and you just had a great meal, great fellowship, and they're like, "Hey, hope you saved room from dessert." I'm like, "Hell yeah, I saved room for dessert. What do we got going on?" And they're like, "I got a great apple pie." I want to murder them. I'm like, that is not a like Jim Gaffigan has a great joke where he's like, fruit good, dessert great, fruit dessert, and he said like fruit cake is like total trash, and that is. I feel that on a visceral level. So, like, give me normal human desserts. Chocolate, vanilla, like caramel, peanut butter. Like, those like, so.
So, hold on, wait a minute. So, if you add nuts to a chocolate, a hot fudge sundae, it's over with?
Our friendship's over with.
Man, I can't
stand it.
That sounds so good.
To be fair, I don't much care for nuts by themselves either. So, like, it's just like, so, like, I'm, the most I'll do with, like, is like salted peanuts, but not on a dessert. That is thank you. But like, so no, there's a scene in The Office where they add nuts to brownies, and you can see Kevin in the back just go no, and when I see that, I'm like, that's me. That's me. That's the inside of me every time. So I'm not a. And for drink, I'll water. Usually, if I'm ordering this at a restaurant, I'm gonna get water because that way you're not paying for the drink, and it goes well. But like I'll go with a good Dr. Pepper root beer or whatever. Like it's fine. Like I don't. I'm not a huge drink person, so yeah.
All right. That's it.
Have you shared with listeners your ideal meal there? I want to know.
I haven't, but normally most of the time I'll take stuff out of what the guest has said. So like out of yours, I would. I'm not that veal piccata.
So good.
I'm thinking about that right
now.
Listen, I'm not
Jackson, Tennessee, Old Town Spaghetti Store's got a great veal piccata.
Okay.
It's not too far from. Yeah. There's probably a closer one here in Memphis. But that's usually on the way to Memphis. I make a stop in Jackson to go to the Old Town Spaghetti Store.
Okay. I'm going to have to try that. I'm going to put that on my list.
I might go there this evening on my way back to Nashville, honestly. Know what I'm saying?
See, I'm a huge salad fan, right? And some of people, I've talked about this a few times, but like any kind of salad, I don't care what it is, I will tear it up. You know what I mean? So it's like when you say the Caesar salad, I love Caesar salad.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like a Caesar salad with a fresh made dressing and not like a store-bought kind.
Dressing makes a difference.
All the difference. It's got to have the anchovy paste in it. But
is that what makes it good? I don't know. Yeah. Maybe that's what I like in the. I've never like ate anchovy paste by itself, so I'm not entirely sure what it tastes like.
So like the thing about that makes Caesar dressing it makes it so good is literally the cheese and the anchovy paste.
Mm.
Those two things, without one or the other, it tastes off. It tastes almost like a funky ranch or something. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I can think of and you're right. There's the store bought ones that taste like the funky weird ranch. Like ranch if it's gone bad a little bit.
Yeah, right. So it's like if it doesn't have one of the two, then it's not gonna taste as good. But like now a chicken Caesar salad.
Yeah, throwing some.
Yeah, or like a shrimp Caesar salad.
Grilled chicken in the Caesar salad, or like fried chicken.
Either way. Matter of fact, I'll do it 3 different ways. I'll go fried. I'll do baked, or grilled, or rotisserie. Either way. Yeah. So,
yeah, I'm cool with either. I do feel like in my brain, grilled chicken goes best with salad, like Caesar salads. However, if it was like a regular salad with like ranch dressing and stuff like that, like fried chicken for sure.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be picky. Any of those chickens would be good.
Yeah. Cool. All right, let me see. All right, so now we are at the end of the episode. At the end of the episode, I normally will always give everybody a fun food fact so that you know something more about food.
I love that.
Right? Okay, so here is one thing. Do you eat toast?
I'm a fan of toast. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you like your toast? Do you like it like dark toasted or lightly toasted?
Lightly toasted. I like there to be a little bit of crunch, but I don't want it to feel like I'm eating like
you still like it where
charcoal.
It's toasted but it's still soft.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then with butter on it, and maybe if I'm really just going crazy that day, throw on some cinnamon and sugar.
Yeah. Okay. Cinnamon. You know what? That's funny. I never thought about that.
Dude, it's good. But it's like I feel like it takes it to a different. It puts it like a different tense than like just regular breakfast toast.
Because like I've had like toast with butter and cinnamon, and it's like or brown sugar and cinnamon.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah, and it's like you butter it and then put it on there, and it's like randomly do not like it. The normal version of French toast, right?
Okay.
Where you like gotta put the egg and you flip it and shit.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
You don't like that.
Horrible.
Is there another way to do French toast?
Brown sugar and cinnamon and butter. Just
there
toast it and I'll do it that way. Yeah. But the other way, I'm like, this is horrible. Why are we doing this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's wrong with us? I like a good French toast. I kind of forget about in the list of breakfast has a lot of good teammates on the squad, and I feel like French toast is always good, but I forget about it. Like when I see it on the menu, I'm like, oh. Because here's the thing, pancakes is like steals the show. Like waffles are good, but only when I'm tired of pancakes. And then French toast also good, but in the same room as pancakes and waffles, I'm never gonna think about it.
Right, ever. So this week's fun fact is that from Reader's Digest actually is that around 66% of Americans like their toast lightly toasted. Basically. Okay. And there's a strong presence for lightly toasted toast on breakfast plates, according to a 2019 survey from YouGov. 58% of respondents are in somewhat lightly toasted, and the other 8% prefer their bread to be very lightly toasted. And then 32% want their shit dark. And then, they want it dark, and then 1% only want their stuff burnt.
Can you imagine asking someone, like, I'm going to need you to burn this toast for me? Like, when you're ordering at a restaurant, and then, like that person has to go and tell the chef, you know how you do this thing really well? Yeah. I need you to intentionally mess it up because that's what the customer wants. Can
you make this toast taste like the bottom of the oven for me, please?
Yeah.
So, that's that. Fun fact or whatever.
Yeah, I wonder what that says about like
the person.
Right. Like I feel like if you want your toast burnt on purpose, you're a serial killer.
Yeah, to me, I look at that in the same token of being like, hey, you are the same person who is like, I want my steak well done.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like why are you just throw your money away?
Yeah,
save gas money and just put it in the garbage.
Right. Just go eat the door. Why don't you just do that?
I actually had a revolutionary moment for myself earlier this week when I went out and had a steak. And I'd recently been like, I feel like all these places are cooking it more. So like, even though I've always said medium, I was like, I'm gonna say medium rare just because then maybe they'll cook it properly in my own brain. And I realized I think I'm a medium rare guy. It was such a good steak. Like, it was medium rare, not medium, and it was. I think the problem is I've just been ordering it wrong when I've been saying medium, and they've given me what medium is, and I've been like, they cook this way too much. And then I was like, you know what, let's go wild today. Let's get a medium rare steak, and best steak I've ever had. I think I'm a medium rare, guys, and I realized that just this last week.
You know what? I'm a between like medium and medium rare person or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, cause I grew up as a kid, like my parents, black kids. So my parents, they burning everything.
Yeah.
They like, this shit is not done. There's blood coming out.
Yeah.
So it's like, I grew up eating it, and then it wasn't until I was like in high school and like went to one of my friend's house. And it's like, they were like, oh, the steak's done. And I'm eating. I'm like, this is not done. But I don't want to be an asshole and not eat it because your dad cooked it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, but I ate it. And then I remember,
like, oh my gosh.
I remember eating it and being like, I didn't need any like steak sauce or anything for this. This was just good.
You were like, yeah, this is just good. I had literally the same experience when I went to college because growing up, all we ever had was medium well is what we'd order, and I'd hear my parents order and stuff like that, and I just always figured steak was like a medium well food, like not that big of a deal. Like in the same way I thought barbecue was average at best until I moved to West Tennessee and had like Memphis barbecue. So like when I went to college and I had like someone else ordered like a good looking steak and I saw how they cooked it, I was like, oh, I can get it not fully cooked. And then it's so good. Anyway.
Yeah.
These are the ways our parents traumatize us.
Right. You're right. With their horrible eating habits.
Except for Nathan's mom, who's fantastic taste in food and comedian.
Yeah. My mom does make some fire food. Right. I'm trying to get her to come on the podcast one of these days.
I hope that episode happens soon. That'll be your best rated episode.
Yeah.
Has your mom ever? You do so many podcasts. Has your mom ever done a podcast with you, or ever been on any podcast?
No. You know, funny thing, right? So my mom, when I did the festival, right, the comedy festival, my mom's one big hang up, right? She's like, well, if there was a clean show, I would have came, whatever. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that, fine, whatever. And then she's like, you should get Drew to do it, right? And I was like, he was there. I was like, he did Renard Hirsch's show.
Yeah.
Because she's a fan of Renard too.
He's awesome.
And so she's like, Drew and Renard was there. I missed both of it. And I was like, yeah, Mom. You should have came.
that was a fun festival, and I came there just to help, so I didn't exactly know what I was on. Wow. And the first impromptu responsibility I had was like, you or someone was like, we need you to go warm up the Stoned Stories show. And I had so much fun with it, but like my first thought, what I said, I was like, yeah, but like I've never really been stoned. I don't have any stoned stories. And like I think you or whoever, because there's a lot going on, it was like, well, figure it out. You got 5 minutes and you're starting the show. And so all I did was get there, and I've frequently in all my life I've been confused for a stoner because A, I eat like someone who's constantly stoned, and B, I have that like chill vibe that people are like, he's probably high, And so like, and I have allergies, so like the eyes probably do. And so all I did was just talk about my eating habits to stoners, and they were like, he's one of us, man. Like I just did jokes about food for 5 minutes, and that's how I warmed up the show. I was like, right away, I was like, I've never been stoned, but let me tell you about my opinions about Little Caesars, and they were all like, yeah.
You see, stoners are the most easiest people to get along with.
Love
it. Like, because really, like, how do I talk to? Just talk about food, because they're probably hungry. So
some of the open mics they do in Nashville are at like those THC places.
Oh yeah,
and it's never like a lot of people there, but there's usually like 2 or 3 really stoned people that are having the best day of their life, and they make for such fun audience members. It's just you standing next to some bush somewhere in like what looks like a living room, but they're selling pot, and then there's just 2 guys with toboggans on that are laughing at every. I mean, you are making their day.
Yeah, right. 2 guys with toboggans on. So real quick, Drew, tell everybody where they can find you and your podcast and see you do comedy.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me on all social media at Drew Davis Comedy, and Instagram's my favorite, but I'm all over the place. So whichever your favorite is, you'll probably see me there. I run a podcast called The Quarter Mile Podcast. We currently release an episode a month, and you can find that online at The Quarter Mile Podcast. And again, our latest episode, Nathan Jaxon is on it. So if you like him on this podcast, you should see him on my podcast. and you'll be like, wow, he's just as cool in both podcasts. And then I do most of my comedy. I travel around a lot, but I am based out of Nashville, and I run a group called the Clean Comedy Collective. So if you do like clean comedy, and especially if you're in Nashville, we have several shows that we do, and just the best. August and September. I've been doing a lot of shows. And so, like, for the end of this month, I'm really kind of chilling out to try to get more bookings later. Like, so someone needs to go get me booked on more stuff, so I figured I probably should go do that. So, but I am excited. The rest of this week, I'm kind of taking it a little slow and resetting a little bit. But if anyone is interested in checking out my comedy, you can see it on YouTube, or you can go to my site or anything and see, like, what I have coming up. But I'll let you know. And it's September. It's looking real light, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, that's Drew Davis, everybody. Don't forget to go check him out everywhere, and don't forget to follow and subscribe, like this episode, share it with your mothers, grandmothers,
absolutely,
dog, whoever, right? And one last thing, I forgot to say this yesterday on your podcast, which I thought it was hilarious that everybody called him Bow Wow and not Shad Moss because that's his real name.
Yes, I thought that was
hilarious. Yeah.
When I wrote out the cast list, I saw that on IMDb. They fixed it to Shad Moss, but I genuinely was like, not to me.
Right. You bet.
I was like, I'm good. And I know that when he became an adult, he became Bow Wow instead of Little Bow Wow, but I was like, I can't.
Right.
And I had this such this snooty moment where I was like, it's my podcast. I'm gonna call him Little Bow Wow. Like if he's listening, he can correct me. But like, he's a Little Bow Wow to me.
Yeah.
So.
All right, everybody. This has been a Spaceman Studios production, and as always, don't be a piece of shit, and don't forget to drink water.
Yeah.